My name is Miss Demi Percival, a teacher candidate of the Sarasota College of Education, and my assignment is based on social control and the school. Now, social control is important for guiding social interactions and ensuring compliances with established principles and standards governing relationships in social contexts. This is the first part of my presentation where it deals with a video presentation, an oral presentation, where I have 4 students, both 2 from primary and 2 from high school, sharing common behaviors of students at their schools, how teachers or those in authority respond to these behaviors. I have 2 parents sharing what schools can do to maintain social control, and lastly, the view of a counselor on some causes of deviant behavior in children and what can be done in the school to help children. What type of support is available beyond the school gate? Good afternoon. Could you please state your name and where is your school located?
My name is Sean Moore and my school is located in Region 4.
Okay, Mr. Sean, I'm here today to ask you basically 2 questions on the topic social control. My first question being, share some common behaviors of children at your school.
Some disruptive behaviors of students at my school are talking during class, fighting and kicking other children, or chewing gum during the lesson.
And how do teachers respond to those behaviors?
The teachers would talk to them or put them to stand in a corner for time out.
Okay, Mr. Sean, thank you for your cooperation.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon. Could you please state your name and where is your school located?
My name is Luan Haywood and my school is located in Region 4.
Okay, Mr. Sean, I'm here today to ask you basically 2 questions on the topic social control. My first question being, share some common behaviors of children at your school.
Well, okay, there's a lot of fighting inside of my school, especially in the classrooms, and there's talking, like disruptive, like they're talking, teaching, and disrespecting the teacher.
And how do teachers respond to those behaviors?
Usually they just bring them into the office, talk to them, or suspend them, and call the parents.
Okay, thanks for your cooperation, Miss Luana.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon. Can you please state your name and where your school is located?
Good afternoon. My name is Kalana Burrows. I go to school in Region 4. Some disruptive behavior in my school are children writing negative things about other children on the school walls and calling people names. He or she would do these things whenever they ask to go to the washroom or even during class session. When the teacher is not paying attention, teachers would usually punish them by letting them clean the walls and writing lines.
Alright, good afternoon. Can you state your name for me, please?
Alexandra Thomas.
Could you speak up?
Alexandra Thomas.
Okay, Miss Alexandra. And in what region does your school belong?
Region 7.
Okay, so I'm here today to ask you 2 questions on social control. Alright? And one of that question is, what are some common behaviors of students at your school?
Some are bullies. Some do fight. Some of them are disgusting.
Oh, alright. So based on these things that you just told me, or these behaviors that you just told me about, what does the teacher do, or how does the teacher respond to those behaviors when these children are acting these ways? What does the teacher do?
Sometimes she calls their parents.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she tells them to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she tells them that when they do it again, she's gonna beat them.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Miss Alexandra, so much. Good afternoon. Can you please state your name?
Good afternoon. My name is Tavis D'Souza Moore.
Okay, Miss Moore, and you are a parent.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'm here today to ask you a question based on social control. And that question is, what are 2 points on what schools can do to maintain social control?
Okay. One thing that the school can do is when there's PTA, invite a resource person to talk to these parents, because you have to educate parents about what is social control first. And when we talk about social control, it must start from home, where there's some single parents there, where they don't have a male figure actually to look up to. So as you educate parents about it, at least they would know how to deal with their child at home. So when the child comes to school, the child will know how to control him or herself. Even the environment that they're living in has to do with it, because some children come from environments where there's basically abusing, and so that's what they hear in the environment. When they come to school, that's what they would act out, because that's what they know about. So we need to educate parents, even if the teachers go around within the community sharing out brochures and flyers, or just talking to parents as a meet and greet to discuss social control. And next thing is they can also keep seminars. Get somebody to come in. When you keep the seminar, you want both child and parent, or both parents and the child there. So when the person is talking, at least the child is there too, to understand what is going on, that they're responsible too for this behavior that they're acting out. So yes, we could blame parents, yes, but you as an individual, you got to know this is what I'm doing wrong, and this is how it's affecting other people, home and school.
Okay, Miss Moore, thank you so much for your contribution.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Can you please state your name?
Oh, my name is Brenda.
Okay, Miss Brenda, I'm here today to ask you a question based on social control in schools. Now, the question is, what are 2 points on what schools can do to maintain social control?
Okay, great. I would like to share my views. All right. Um, you know, for me, what I think is vital in this case of social control and how it should be maintained or how it could be maintained in schools. My take is I think if the school authorities get more parents involved, especially the parents of the disruptive children involved, it's like they will be working hand in hand, because if the teachers in the school get more small talks with the children from day to day of the importance of not bullying and the importance of not being disruptive, and encourage them to show love to one another. And then you do the same thing with the parents, wherever you have one-on-one workshops or one-on-one small talks with the parents. Even though we know some parents are quite busy, but even if it's via phone, you know things are so technologically inclined these days that it doesn't have to be face to face when it comes to the parents. You can reach out to them on different different platform via the internet, because I mean everything is modern now. So you can encourage them on ways and means that they can help children to curb their disruptive behavior or help to control their emotions, like, so for example, some parents, when the children lashed out at home, let's say they need baked chicken for dinner, and the parent might say, no, we don't have baked chicken, or I'm feeling tired, I cannot make baked chicken. The child will, most of them will display some tantrums, and instead of the parent try to curb that tantrum, instead of them trying to be stern and said, okay, I'm not making this baked chicken, I'm not making it, I'm tired, you have to eat something else, or punish that child for that tantrum, they, what they do instead, they go ahead and they go out of their way to make the baked chicken, right? So what the school authority, that's the social worker within the school or the welfare officer within the school, they can reach out to the parent, and encourage them, even if the child needs something, and you already tell them no, but don't go back on your no. No is no, yes is yes. Teach them from home, like to talk to them instead of go make what they want. Talk to them. Tell them, okay, baby, mommy cannot afford, or mommy can't make this right now. And it's either you take this other thing in the space of that, or I would give you a punishment. Everything don't have to be all about licks. But let's say the child likes to play on their Xbox for 2 hours, you take away that privilege, to help curb that behavior. And also, as a parent, you can encourage a parent to teach them, about selflessness. Because what you find, because some of those children, some of these disruptive children, tends to be the only child, they have no sibling. They tend to have a selfish way about them. They're accustomed in the house, it's only them and everything is about them. So when they come out in the open environment, such as the school environment, they just expect everything to be about them. They want to be in control all the time, and to get that control, they divert to bullying. So they start to bully their peers, and that's how the disruptiveness come about. So the school welfare can encourage these parents, that even though your child is an only child, you can still encourage them, to be selfless. For example, at Christmas, you can buy toys, no matter how cheap it is, as a parent, and give them to share out to the less fortunate, to the children that are not so fortunate. So like that, you would teach them, a way to be selfless. So I think it's all boiled down to working together with the parents. Work hand in hand with the parents. Be patient. That's my take.
Okay, Miss Brenda, thank you so much for your participation and contribution towards this topic.
Thank you very much.
Here with Mr. McPherson, who is a counselor of Region 4, and he'll be here to brief us on what are the causes of deviant behaviors, or what are some causes of deviant behaviors. Good afternoon, Mr. McPherson.
Hi, good afternoon. Now, what you find in society today, the deviant behaviors or actions of children today in schools are caused by very few factors. But the common ones are: one, the lack of strong role model, the environmental influence, the children themselves struggling with their own personality and identity.
Okay, now when you say lack of strong role model, can you expound a little more on that?
Now, when I say lack of a strong role model, well, it's very simple. Majority of homes from these regions where you find most deviance or deviant behaviors, you will find that there are single parents, or where the parents are basically absent. So you find that children growing up without any sense of directions, basic life values, which in turn make that child or children becomes deviant or have deviant traits.
Okay, thank you for that. Another question that I would like you to answer for me are, what type of support is available beyond the school gate for deviance?
Well, for me, I think that they should implement extracurricular activities, should be implemented at sports, which you can build teamwork, reinforce their camaraderie, which will build and nurture their character in general.
Okay, Mr. McPherson. Thank you so much for your cooperation.
Okay, you too.
This has brought me to the end of the first part of my presentation.